Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to your new moon in Sagittarius reading. This new moon is happening on December 20th. It is happening at the end of Sagittarius season, so there is a cycle closing out as this new moon is happening and a new cycle beginning. I have felt a lot of it, a good energy coming through with this new moon, although I did feel some energies of I have felt like a little bittersweet, right? Like saying goodbye to the past isn't always easy. In some instances, we love it, right? Goodbye. We're happy to be done with that rough, tough, yucky cycle, and we're embracing this beautiful, new, blissful cycle. But I'm feeling more bittersweet. Like, so I'm feeling like this is that where something needs to give, something needs to go, something needs to change in order to ascend, to evolve, to enhance oneself, one's life, whatever this is. And so take what resonates, release what doesn't. Let's see what energies want to show up for the sign of Scorpio for this new moon in Sagittarius. And the first card that pops up is look, sacrament of the present. So this is about opening up. This is about receiving. Something is happening. Something new is coming through. Somebody is ready to receive whatever this is. The next card that shows up is the joy of generosity. So I feel like there is a very favorable experience coming through, coming in, right? Um, I don't know why I feel like I kind of feel with this joy of generosity, I am feeling like is really elevating someone's not just their aura, but like it feels like an elevation in their spirit that is ultimately, it's kind of like, when you express gratitude, the more grateful you are, the more you have to be grateful for, that sort of energy. It's giving me that vibe about it. I feel like this is after a time of somebody really being in, like, this is. I don't really feel like getting themselves out of the mud, but I do feel like getting themselves out of a um I feel like an emotional time, experience, situation, that sort of thing. Something that, I feel like at one point they were really down in the dumps or really feeling some feelings or being overwhelmed in their feelings in regards to certain situations. There's been a shift. I'm seeing a change in that. And look, it was on the bottom of the deck when I seen it, and that's what I said, in their feelings. And now it's showing up. Yeah, pursue your dreams. I feel like somebody put themselves on hold. They put their future on hold, their desires on hold, maybe to, you know, be of assistance or help to others, but I'm kind of feeling like it's somebody who put others first and neglected their own hopes, wishes, and dreams, and somebody really going through a phase, a period, a cycle, a chapter of some sort where they really had to be honest with themselves about that. I kind of feel like they've, they've had to learn something. I'm feeling, because I'm seeing Saturn in my third eye. I'm feeling that, they've had to learn some lessons in that. I feel like the lesson ultimately was, um, you know, what's not a benefit of putting others before self. Like, I don't feel like that is, somebody had to learn that. Maybe somebody really believed or thought or felt it was appropriate or the right thing or whatever it was, to always put others' hopes, wishes, dreams before their own. It could have been even a little challenging for someone to change that, right? To bring about that change where maybe this is a person who started saying, no, I can't do this for you right now. I got things I'm doing for me. Once I'm done, then I can be there for you. And you will find during transitions and changes and things like that, that you'll really see who people are, right? Like, say no to someone for the first time. or say no to someone and then see how, and I don't feel like somebody's doing that to get the reaction, but I feel like it's eye opening and awakening to someone. Like it brings a lot of enlightenment, like wow, this person's always nice and good and kind, but the minute I can't be there when they absolutely snap their fingers and need me to be there, they go run amok and do the most, right? You have to look at that, right? You definitely can't just pretend you don't see that red flag. So I feel this is somebody coming out of this funk, and I do feel like it was a funk. I feel like somebody is standing up out of that water, out of those feelings, picking themselves up, dusting themselves off, opening themselves up to receive, right? The energies that are coming through. This card has come out, and I think now in every reading I have done so far, like I'm not exactly sure if that's for real, but I know that it just came out in the last reading, and I feel like it's came out in every reading. I don't know why, but I do feel like it has. So has welcome change, the virtue of humility and welcome change. So I do feel like these two together are really showing me that energy of somebody really having an experience of a humbling experience, kind of like I feel like they got brought down to earth through an illusion being shattered, and it could very well be an illusion of thinking somebody always had your back or was really good friend or was really good to you until you recognize that you had, I feel this, say no, like you couldn't be there for someone they when they wanted you to be there, even if you've been there for them every single damn time that they have asked or needed you. You have been there, and right now you're picking yourself up, putting yourself back together, moving, trying to move forward and create some change in your physical realm, like your world, your 3D world. And I kind of feel like something brought someone, and it could have been what made you very emotional when you seen how someone would act or treat you when you couldn't do what they wanted you to do. And that is a sign in itself, right? Is how I'm feeling with this. So that's how I'm feeling about that. The next two cards, I said it too. These cards, wow, aligned with, anointed with love and welcome change. This welcome change has come out every time that that virtue of humility has come out. So although it may have been a humbling experience, like something that brought you back down to earth, I kind of feel like it may have broke your heart, but it opened your eyes, is that energy I'm getting. And I feel like this is beneficial for you. It may not felt good when you were going through this. Optimism is here, and I'm feeling like this is that portal for that new beginning. And you see this person, right, open their arms ready to receive, opening their arms ready to receive. I feel this joy of generosity, like this is what's coming through, this overwhelming generous energy of happiness, peace, bliss, joy. Like I kind of feel whatever you've had to pick yourself up from and release, surrender that, see it for what it really is. Like that could have been a lesson that you learned, but I feel the change that is coming in as a result of it is I feel very beautiful energy. So the first two cards that come up to start clarifying is the Three of Earth to the Eight of Earth. So I do see now something starting to grow. I see somebody focused on what they're building, what they're creating, what they're like co-creating with the universe, their new physical. I feel physical reality. So whether this is in your job, relationships, your home, your environment, whatever this is, I feel like somebody now knows what they're looking for. Like they have a vision of what they desire for the future. And I feel they're focused on that. And I feel like they were focused on it, and ultimately through the process had to see who was supportive of that and who was not. And that is definitely going to be bringing through a major change. So the joy of generosity is clarified by the Nine of Air. And I really, every time I see this beautiful, I feel like it's an angel. I know it's got bird wings. I just feel like there is this energy, right? Of a beautiful soul. I feel like that's been surrounded, whether with information or communication or something, been surrounded with something that has restricted their flight, restricted them moving off. And remember when I was saying out here, this could be where you're always there to help someone, right? And the one time you say no, this could have been part of how they kept you restricted from taking flight by utilizing taking up your time. Most valuable resource that anyone walking the face of earth has is time. Time is the one thing that can never be replaced. You can make more money, you can do all these things, you cannot replace time. You just cannot do it. And I feel like somebody has woke up to how they have been circled or, surrounded with energies that took from them, took their time, took their energy, took whatever it was in order to grow and expand. Meanwhile, depleting someone of those. Somebody woke up. Somebody woke up and seen it for what it is. And I feel they're being liberated. I feel like they are focused on what is for them, building, like I said, building their future, building their vision, that sort of energy, not being distracted, held back. They're taking flight, I feel. Look, 10 of air, 9 of air to the 10 of air. I do feel like that was a betrayal because not everybody does it with an intention to do that, but I'm kind of getting the vibe, whoever I'm talking to, this was an intentional thing. Like this could be somebody who knows next week I'm going to be, or, I'd have to say it would happened in the past, but, they know what your plans were, and knowing what you were planning on doing, they come through with a bunch of distractions, right? I need you for this, I need your help for that, and you being wanting to stand up and help or be there or do all this, that, and the other thing, your stuff fell behind or your stuff wasn't done on time, right? I kind of feel like somebody is waking up and recognizing that this has been a cycle that they have been in, where I really do believe there has been an intent on some part where somebody has been sabotaging to take, information, or time away from what you're working on in order to help them grow, evolve, ascend, get their stuff accomplished at the expense of your own. Yeah, look at 5 of fire. That's been, this is, I don't, the 5 of fire talks about competition. It talks about conflict. It talks about drama. Like if you're on track, you're getting stuff done, and then somebody sees you getting stuff done and focused and all this, then they come in with some dramatic, who knows what, right? I feel to distract you from pursuing what you desire. I kind of feel someone's waking up during this moon. I kind of feel it started being recognized or realized, or somebody was being enlightened around the time of the full moon in Gemini. You can go all the reading. I mean, I do readings for all 12 signs, and I do have like a category thing or a whatever I think that's what you call it. And so like all Scorpio, Scorpio will have one where it's all their readings, and you can go check out the uh, Scorpio reading for the full moon in Gemini that happened less than 2 weeks ago, and see if that helps put some of these pieces together for you. But let's keep moving. Let's talk about this pursuing your dream. I feel like somebody intentionally tried to keep you small, like betray you by keeping you suppressed, oppressed, whatever this is. I'm feeling that weren't good. I definitely am feeling that was not a good thing to do, nor was it a smart move. I'm sorry. Page of Air is next. So this gives me the energy that I feel this is that person. There is some news, information, some conversation that gets had. Somebody gets liberated from this. I feel this is that same person right there. See the bird wings, the angel wings, whatever you want to call them. Somebody's being liberated. They're being able to fly free. They're able to rise above. Look at this, 7 of air. Like, I'm not joking when I say, like, this was somehow intentional to, like, it feels like covert energy done behind the scenes, sneakily done behind the back, or done with the intention of doing that. Like This person may not have even needed your help, but they wanted to take your time, energy, and effort, right, away for their mission, for their purpose, for their sabotage, is how I'm feeling about it, in order to keep you stuck, to keep you, um, surrounded and not able to take flight, to grow, expand, evolve. I don't think they're getting what they wish for. I think that karma is going to be something that they have never wished and wanted for, but because of the intent behind it, right? Like I said, sometimes it is with intent to sabotage, to hold somebody stuck, to slow someone down. That you're not getting anything good out of that. Messenger of Earth, this is that offer, that opportunity that's coming in. It's going to be bringing a transformation. I feel like whoever I'm talking to right now, you've gone through a transformation. You've had the strength, courage, and confidence, two major arcana cards in a row. Then the third major arcana card in a row is the moon. There was something that was hidden. Somebody couldn't necessarily see it, but they had the strength, courage, and confidence to keep moving. They felt supported by the heavens, by the divine, by the Most High. They are now in that manifestation mode, which I've been picking up on from the word go, where they've spent the time, energy, and effort into nurturing, growing, evolving. Look at even in her hand, she's holding all that wheat, right? I feel like it's harvest time for someone. That old cycle is done. She's burning away that old, and I'm saying she because I keep seeing a she in the pictures of the cards. She's burning that old cycle off, restoring balance, justice being served, and embarking on a new beginning. Whoever's been stuck, stagnant, held back through false information, through manipulation within conversations or something like that, they're being liberated. They're being, I haven't seen the tower, but I know that tower is going to strike. I can feel it. The Ten of Swords is the minor arcana card for the tower. So I do feel like they are going to be liberated from the lies, the deception, the manipulation, whatever was being done, um, with intent behind the scenes, sneakily to sabotage or keep someone stuck. Seven of Air, something, and it's interesting to see this with this humility card right there, because I am picking up on this. I am definitely feeling whoever is the one who is the saboteur, the one who is sneaky doing things deceptively behind the scenes, they're going to be humiliated. I absolutely feel like they're going to have a humbling moment by being exposed for who they are, the deceptive tactics that they've used, that sort of energy. Not like you should be sitting there, celebrating all of that, right? Pray for them, people. Pray that they can find peace in their heart to be a good person, right? Because we all want to make hope that people will definitely do the right thing and be decent human beings. I'm not feeling somebody that I'm picking up on was that energy, but I do feel like they're going to have the opportunity through this. I feel like karma kicking their ass is how I'm feeling about it, really humbling them, bringing them down to earth, really forcing them to look at not only what they've done but why they do it. Like, what inside of you is so hurt that you would do something like this? And I kind of feel like it's going to force a healing upon someone. And I'm happy to hear that, because that will definitely make the world a better place. The more we heal, everybody, right? The more we heal, and move forward, the better off we all are, not just one or the other. Queen of Fire. So yeah, I feel that's that energy of somebody moving forward, somebody who's being liberated. Things are going to happen, I feel, quickly for them with this new beginning. The person who has been, like, I feel restrained, restricted, held up, delayed in some way. And I'm saying in some way, but I feel like it was an intentional thing. Like, this is somebody saying, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And you keep waiting and waiting and waiting for this person to do this until you realize this. I'm just not doing that, right? Like, I don't recommend that as well. Like, if you know I just feel like if you're wanting to do something and somebody's got you waiting until they're ready to do it, and you can't wait for people. Like, you're not meant to be doing that on your human experience, on your human journey. Yes, there is compromising and working out things like that. But this is giving me the feeling of somebody that just trying to keep someone stuck, held back, not progressing in life with intention. Like, right. And again, I've explained how I feel like they were doing this, manipulating someone's time. This is Hermit card, Major Arcana card. This is talking about having wisdom, knowledge. This is about going within, seeking higher wisdom, being enlightened to some things, right? Intuitively as well. I'm feeling like somebody is now being offered keys. You see all the keys at the top of this? They're being offered a bunch of different keys, which can unlock different doors of opportunity now that they've, I feel, sacrificed whatever was holding them back. I feel they've seen it for what it is. They've been enlightened to it. That's another thing about the hermit. It's a discovery of something, right? And someone has discovered how they've been held back, maybe through manipulation, maybe for however this plays out, right? And I feel like now that they've discovered what is happening and they've altered, like they're all, shifting and changing, they're adjusting the direction or what's connected to them, they are getting to the top of the mountain. This is somebody who is going to stand tall. They're going to stand at the top of this mountain. They're going to defend and protect what they have worked so hard to get to achieve whatever it is. And they're not, I feel like they've had to see what was sabotaging them in order to make that sacrifice and release it so that it can continue to do that and it could bring forth that that vision, that desire, that change that feels very beneficial. We have the Six of Earth here in this specific deck. This Six of Earth is not balanced. There's been some imbalance that has taken place, and I feel like the divine, the most high, the universe, God, whatever you resonate with, is trying to restore the balance. And by doing so, it has to expose what's been holding you back, what's been keeping you stuck, all of that sort of energy. It's time for things to come together. Two of water. For some of you, this could be a union, a connection. For others of you, it's something else that you've been trying to achieve, to bring forth, to manifest into reality. And I feel this coming through. I kind of feel part of these are delays were because there was something that you were connected with, attached to, that was ultimately sabotaging your success, this coming together, that sort of energy. Bottom of I mean, not the bottom of the deck. Next card that comes out is the Wheel of Fortune, and that is clarify the welcome change. Fortune's wheel does talk about change. It talks about the turning of the wheel. High Priestess on the bottom of the deck, trusting your intuition and knowing there does, and that's Jupiter energy. Where is Jupiter right now? In Cancer. I think it may be retrograde. I didn't bring the thing with me. So right now you can maybe feeling where you're being pulled back or a little, like, again, I feel that restrictive energy, but I can say this, I do feel like once this gets discovered, it's going to be like this pulling back. When you pull back a bow, then when you let that let it go, it propels forward. That is how I'm feeling. And I feel like what you're letting go is whatever it is that's been holding you back, keeping you stuck, slowing you down, delaying your progress intentionally. I cannot express that enough. I feel like it's been an intentional way to sabotage, even though it may not have appeared like that. I feel like it's until you gain that wisdom, that insight, that higher knowing, that higher knowledge, that you can see, like, they wasted all my time when this is something, you ever have somebody want you to do something that they could do themselves, right? Like, they've just taken your time, energy, and effort because they weren't even willing to try. And if they wanted it bad enough, they would try. They would make an effort, right? They don't want it. They don't want to do it. They want it done for them. This is the energy I'm getting. Take what resonates, release what doesn't. These messages now are from the Spirit Junkie Oracle deck. These are just some motivation, inspiration, and encouragement for you. through this process right now. Again, you should go take a look at the Scorpio full moon in Gemini reading. It's going to help bring additional clarity to you. The difficult relationships in my life are the perfect mirror for me to look more closely at my own behavior, right? And I do think that's important, and I had picked up on that in here as well, because we got to, like I said about the healing, right? When we tolerate things that we don't like, right? There is a part of us that we have to really look at and recognize why we tolerate that, why we allow that, right? And typically it comes either from conditioned belief systems, programming through growing up and developing and all of that sort of thing. There's so many different reasons, right? That it can be. But once we see where it stems from, we look at that, we get a different perspective of that. Um, Allow that to be, when you see it and you feel it and you heal it, right? You can outgrow that situation. You can outgrow that part of you that was tolerant of things that you should have never been tolerant for by healing that part of you that was wounded and ultimately led to allowing, right? So let me keep moving. I can expand time when I'm inspired. Yeah, isn't that funny? I love that because I know, I don't know about you. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you're one of them people. You ever have them days where it's like you just feel like you could move mountains or just like take on the world and all of that sort of energy. And it just feels like when you're in that vibe, which is authentic and real, you really do that. You achieve I know you must have had days in this lifetime where you have like, wow, I had a 2-page list of things to do, and every single thing on that list got knocked off because you expanded time by having, by being confident, being in your power, taking control of the direction and the leadership of your own life, and inspired to make moves, to make things happen. Like when you stand up and you're like, I'm getting stuff done today, and stuff gets done. Next card that comes out is the creativity flows from me. I am a divine creator. I do feel someone is manifesting something and they are co creating with the universe throughout all of this. I just feel like they've had something that maybe they weren't seeing at the time, but they are going to see very clearly if they haven't already, that is holding them back, that is sabotaging their growth and expansion. And I feel the second they recognize it, they do surrender this, they do release it, they do make that sacrifice to cut it off so that it no longer holds power or drains them energetically. Next card that comes out, I am willing to see my sameness with others. This opens my awareness to oneness. Yes, right? I do feel like that's important to know as well. I kind of feel also it's talking about um, looking at what you're aligning with, who you're going to what you're going to tolerate now, right? I kind of feel like somebody's going to be tolerating things that bring peace, joy, happiness, trust, authenticity, integrity to the thing, because that's what they're looking to align with, and ultimately having to see what is not in alignment. And again, I just feel like make that sacrifice to surrender that, to let that energy go. At some point, in life, maybe it can catch back up. But at this point in life, I'm kind of feeling like they're looking at what aligns with the energy of where I am now. And the last two cards that come out says, I seek out happy people who inspire me to be great. Yes, 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 yes. And the next one, taking care of myself is a radical act of love. And I do feel like somebody is putting themselves first. I've already said this earlier. I did feel like somebody put everybody else before themselves, and they've recognized that this isn't getting them anywhere. It's bringing a lot of challenge into their life, and they're not doing this anymore. And the final card, which is at the bottom of the deck, says, today, I consciously choose to think loving thoughts, take compassionate action, and bring forth peaceful energy. And I feel they themselves, whoever this is for, is putting their self front row and center, putting themselves first. I do feel like it's something someone hasn't done a lot in this lifetime. And it was a challenge to recognize it and then to adjust and make changes to bring that about. Like I kind of feel somebody took a lot of flack, whatever you want to call it, for saying no, for saying I got to put my time, energy, and effort into me. And I feel like it exposed who some people truly were. And it could have been very shocking. Let me just say it like that. I do hope this message serves you well. Please leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate you. I send you love and light. Have a great day.